What's up, Kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill if this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer questions in the comments below. Are you going to agree with anything that creative director Ron and Warhammer 40K have to say?
Warhammer 40K.
Or are you just going to disagree with me as we're doing this podcast thing that you all enjoyed and I enjoyed doing.
And if I get enough requests, I will do a Warhammer podcast for
Ron, that does not mean that I'm doing a Warhammer podcast.
Oh no, that is the stretch goal. I'm already penciling it in. Not only will we have a 40K podcast, we're gonna have a 40K Let's Play.
Oh no!
Ready to paint some figurines.
No, we should do a kill team. We should do a kill team before we do it. Don't worry about it.
What do you mean don't worry about it? It's my show.
Not enough people have donated. We don't need to talk about it yet.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yep. We're not giving it away for free. Sorry.
You can subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, let's just drop the GoFundMe in the comment section. I don't know.
I've invited Warhammer 40K and creative director Ron to join us to talk about Ohio State's defense and John Mateer being listed as questionable on the injury report, which is great because we gamble on college football now. Well, we've always gambled on college football, but now we're acknowledging that we gamble on college football. Meanwhile, Ohio State really is flirting with being one of the best scoring defenses that we have seen in recent history. So I'm going to throw this one quite literally to the crowd. But first, to Kate and Ron, when I tell you that Ohio State is allowing just 5 points per game, and I'm telling you that they've allowed just 2 touchdowns in 5 games, and they haven't allowed a single red zone touchdown at all this season, what do you think of their defense?
That has to be either the worst out-of-conference schedule of all time, or they are absolutely the truth. I don't really think that there's anything in between. Like they did it to Texas, Tulane, some others.
No. Texas, Grambling, 70-0. Ohio, which I think was 38-9. And then Washington is a Big Ten conference game. And what's fascinating about the Washington game is the week before they put up like 59 on Washington State, and their quarterback, Damon Williams, threw for 298 yards, also rushed for 88 yards. And they could manage just 6 points against Ohio State.
See, I will admit to being wrong about who Ohio State plays because I turn their games off because they are whooping the dog water out of people. And I have better things to do than watch somebody run a shutout. But they are good.
I guess the follow-up to that is, Kate, are they really that good?
I don't think that they are, actually.
Okay. I'm listening.
My only take in this is that I feel like they've been lucky on who they're playing against. And I think that there were a couple of am I misremembering? Wasn't there an injury in the opposing team of one of their other? Am I just totally misremembering? Your face makes me think I'm misremembering.
Almost certainly there was an injury, but not one that was significant. So
okay, sorry.
So they beat Texas, who went from being the number 1 team in the country to unranked, which we'll get to here in a little bit. Presently, Grambling ain't nobody. Ohio is good, but not as talented as Ohio State. Washington is good, but not as talented as Ohio State. And then they beat Minnesota 42-3, which brought their 5.5 points allowed per game average down to 5. Now, the reason I think an Ohio State fan might pick a fight with Kate on this one is everybody we have played, for the most part, has healthy at key positions and they've had their star players available to them. We're just that much better than them. And I'll add to this, I think Ohio State has the best defensive player in all of college football, and Caleb Downs, who, if we play in spades, he's big joker. It's not really that fair.
What?
You get to move him around. Oh, did you say what?
What position does he play? I
He
don't.
plays safety.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's what he plays. But he is a destroyer of worlds.
So he's Galactus.
I mean, I'm not kidding. You can put that boy anywhere you want. You can put that man at edge, at the foot 9 technique. You can put him middle linebacker. You can put him center field. You can put him in corner. You can have him. The boy returned kicks last year. He returned a punt last year for a touchdown. It's the only time that I think he returned 3 punts last year. One of them was for like 15 yards. One of them was a touchdown. The other one, he fumbled the football, and then they asked him not to do that no more. But he really is, I think, the best all-around football player in the country. It's just Jeremiah Smith is also on the other side of Ohio State. He might be the best player in the entire country. The other point to raise here is that anytime you hold a team that was ranked number 1 to just 7 points, you might be good. That's just it. You might be good. It might not be luck, but because Texas has taken 2 losses, one to Ohio State and one to 1-3 Florida, people are calling the Ohio State win against Texas into question, in which case Ohio State gets another opportunity this weekend when they play Illinois. Illinois is, I believe, 4-1. Their one loss, though, is to Indiana, who's ranked number 7 undefeated. They lost to Indiana 63-10 in Bloomington. That's not a good look. I mean, it's not a good look. And Luke Altmaier has not really been that good at quarterback for them against top 25 teams. So all that to say, they have yet another opportunity to stack another top 10 win on their resume and hold Illinois to, 5 points or fewer. And Ron, I don't know how are we supposed to treat a team that is holding teams to less than a touchdown a game when Alabama in 2011, your favorite Alabama team, I might add, your favorite LSU team also, I might add, is holding people to just 8.2 points per game that season.
I think that you're going to have to judge them against another team that is also able to hold their opponents to close to single digits. I don't know if they're going to get it. The only kind of dogfight that I think that would excite me is a game where they have to find a way to manufacture points, because otherwise they're just a dominant. Go ahead and mark them down as one of the more dominant teams of the past decade if they keep this up. But if the only challenge is, I don't think that they're going to get into they're not going to get into a foot race. I don't think they're going to get into a shootout. They're going to have to be able to survive a team that is as good defensively as they are. And if they don't face that this year, it's hard to tell. It's going to be hard to tell if they are great or this was a very strange year in the rest of the Big Ten or college football as a whole.
Hey, understand what he's asking of Ohio State might be on the table, it might not. One of the things that I think is interesting to make plain here is it's not as if Ohio State is just a defensive team. They beat Minnesota 42-3. They beat Ohio 38-9. They beat Grambling 70-0. The low scoring game is quite literally the one they played against Texas 14-7. In an ordinary year, we might say, oh, they're defensively dominant because they run the football and they don't score a lot of points. And that's part of the sauce is we're just going to be balanced. They can run up the score and keep the score down. And we haven't really seen a team like that since 2005 USC, which had Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, and others on it. To say Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart also ended up winning the Heisman Trophy. Matt Leinart in 04, Reggie Bush in 05. It feels like that kind of team. So when I hear you say they're getting lucky, I'm also wanting something like, do you think that Illinois might be able to beat Ohio State this weekend, especially when the game is in Champaign, Illinois?
Yes.
Okay. Following that,
I do have kind of a vaguely, I mean, it's not really specifically related to this topic, but I was thinking about, you describing our Galactus, as a good all rounder and that stuff. Like we've been talking a lot about how much players get paid because they're getting paid. Actually, go figure. And I was just kind of curious, is there some sort of weird pay scale spreadsheet that they, put to what player to what position? I assume quarterbacks probably make the most, and then it kind of goes. But I just was kind of curious. I'm sure they take stuff like you're saying, people who are all rounders into account, right? You can
no.
not. They're not.
No.
Okay, sorry.
You're on it. You're just ahead of college football. So what you're asking about is a salary cap and slotted values. We have those in the NFL, right? We do.
Yeah.
We even have a franchise tag in the NFL.
I figured it had to be something like that.
In college football, we more or less follow it, but I can give you a rough estimate as to people what get paid because the market will pay you what you're worth. Quarterbacks get paid the most. Edge rushers get paid the second most. Defensive tackles get made the third most. And then you can basically slot wide receivers, running backs, linebackers into the same spot, and then safeties, defensive backs, cornerbacks, wide receivers into another spot. And then your offensive linemen, depending on tackle, they might make as much as edge rusher if they're that good. If they're guards, they probably make as much as a wide receiver. And then you got your specialists. So generally speaking, the water finds its level, right? Ohio State can outbid you, but that doesn't mean that they do. They've been very good about putting together the roster that they think they need to go win, as opposed to the most expensive roster, like, say, Texas Tech. These are things to keep into account. It's also very interesting when we think about OU and Texas, because Oklahoma might have spent about $3 million on its quarterback. Quarterback was hurt against Kent State, recovering from surgery. He broke his thumb on his throwing hand against Auburn in the first quarter, still finished the game and played really well. 271 passing yards, 14-16 in the second half, led a comeback, all those things. Then, oh yeah, I broke my thumb. I need surgery for this. Who do we get to do this? A world-renowned surgeon. Great. Dr. Shen fixes his hand, and now it's about how quickly he can recover. So the conversation has been, will he play against Texas on Saturday? When the SEC injury report came out today, he was listed as questionable, which is more food and or fodder for the group, which I'm a part of, which thinks he might play on Saturday. He's been pushing to play. He wants to play. And OU is a top 10 team, even a top 5 team when he does play. But that's what the $3 million is for. What is fascinating about all of this is that Arch Manning, your nemesis.
He's not my nemesis.
Your antagonist.
Sure he's a very lovely young man, and I wish him all the best.
Yo, Ron, who's the evil faction in Warhammer?
Oh, they're all evil. What are you talking about?
What a good question.
Okay.
I would say it is honestly, everything I know about Warhammer is against my will. The one thing that I do know is that they're all pretty evil. I don't know if I would sleep soundly being a part of.
All right. Let me.
The Adeptus Mechanicus, is that Kate? Is that a one? Is that a one? Yeah, there you go.
Kinda. So no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not.
You are doing it. You're already there. I can hear you. Are you getting coached up? Because if you're getting coached up, that's great.
Oh, we're talking about football, and
are we?
I won't go
Are
in
we?
for anything you guys say about anything. But no, I have my list of stupid questions I was going to ask you.
And I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But right now, I need to find a good comparison for John Mateer versus Arch Manning. And Arch
Okay.
Manning has been catching all sorts of just slings and arrows because he hasn't played poorly. He just hasn't been great. And we expected him to be great. And now that Texas is 3-2 and goes from the number one team in the country to unranked before week 7, we've got lots to talk about going into OU Texas, a game that Oklahoma fans didn't expect to win in the preseason. And Texas fans expected to win going away, in large part because Oklahoma's defense hasn't been as good as it is right now, which is diabolical and really outstanding. And Arch, who looks very much like a buck that I saw on a ride today. He's got big horns. He's galloping free, but it feels like all I got to do is put my sights on him and down he goes. That's what's been happening. That's been happening. By the way, it is bow hunting season in Oklahoma, so I was very upset to not have my compound bow with me. That aside, he's also got really great tools around him. He's got great wide receivers. He's got great running back. He's got a decent offensive line. He's got one of what we thought was the best defense in college football until such time as Ohio State said, no, we're here. We got this. So I'm trying to find a good way to talk about, again, your enemy, that is Arch Manning, and what he might be able to do here. And I was trying to come up with a Warhammer 40K comp here. But if there isn't one, I'm just going to leave that to you as you are the Warhammer aficionado.
Well, I do have some ideas about how to make a comparison of this, but like it would take far too much explanation. So I'm just not going to. That's for the other podcast, where I will break it down on, how about this? On which son of the emperor is Arch Manning, and
That's what I was about to say. What if we just lay down what we do know is that he's been blessed with a name, right? He thought that he was going to be the heir apparent, and it turns out that he is in fact fine, but not, as RJ said, fine, but not great. Who would fit that description?
No, we're not doing this. No, stop it. Okay, we're going back to football. I made stupid questions, because I have stupid questions and I desperately want to get them answered. So
And right now we're doing an OU Texas segment. So either you need to come up with some analysis for OU Texas, or you need to come up with some analysis for Warhammer.
Oh, well, I'm from Oklahoma, so I have to find it funny that Texas is losing and, they're unranked. It's obligatory.
Obligatory?
A ninja will drop out of the ceiling and accost me for not supporting Oklahoma when football is, on the line.
It's Mike Gundy!
There is no way Mike Gundy could be a ninja at this stage in his life, let's be honest.
I don't know. He's a man way past 40.
Yeah. I think being a ninja is not a young man's game, personally.
No, $50 million could turn you into a lot of different things.
That's fair. That is very fair.
Also, not the whole state of Oklahoma roots for Oklahoma. Oklahoma State fans love to tell you that.
Oh, on a completely unrelated note, but Mark Sanchez, I'm not going to talk about the stabbing thing. That's not what I want to talk about. So this is going to sound so stupid, but I have this like crazy memory of somebody talking about Mark Sanchez and a butt play or like booty play.
Run, jump in here.
Okay, so I'm not misremembering. Okay.
This is until this week, where Mark Sanchez definitely decided to, what are you gonna do, stab me? But that we're not talking about.
No,
he was known for one thing.
Okay.
And you found out that he was known for that one thing?
No, I saw the headlines about Mark Sanchez and I was like, I have this just like really vague memory of like, somebody talking about him in like booty plays. and like with no like no other context. I just have like this vague notion of this. Like I don't remember any specific person talking about it. So but as I'm talking to you both, it seems like I'm not crazy, and so please explain.
When Mark Sanchez was on the Jets, he had a play where he ran into his own teammate,
What?
their butt, and fumbled the football. It was kind of like the last straw in Mark Sanchez not being an NFL quarterback.
What?
It was-
But what? Okay.
If I'm pulling up the link for you. I'll send it to you, and you
Oh,
can
thank
see.
you.
A bit more detail on the Mark Sanchez experience for the New York Jets is to go, hey, I made the playoffs. Did any other quarterback that you had made the playoffs?
Can
Did
someone?
Aaron Rodgers make the playoffs? Is
Could we
Justin Fields
ask?
going to make the playoffs? Did Mike White make the playoffs? Put some respect on my name.
Could we have someone make like a
Did he run
TikTok
into British
compilation
Ferguson?
so I could watch all of these booty fumbles
I'm sure that does
that already
exist
exist?
somewhere.
Okay, I'll just
Somewhere.
not be lazy and
But before Mark Sanchez
search for
butt fumbled,
it. Okay.
he was pretty decent game manager at USC, and parlayed that into a pretty cool broadcasting career. That's Mark Sanchez. This incident over the weekend, regrettable to say the least. Okay, Kate, Chief Q&A officer on this here Adapt and Respond.
Okay.
What are your questions?
All right. Here are my probably very stupid questions. So, are home games ranked differently than away games?
Ranked how?
Like, how do they contribute to like scoring or ranking of the teams in any way? I was just
Scoring, no. Ranking, yes.
okay, because I was kind of confused on that because it seemed like some people should be higher than other people, and I was like, what is?
Ron, do you want to explain home field advantage?
I guess. Can you give me more or what you mean by does the ranking matter home or away? Are you talking
Like
about in?
when they're ranked like, you know, 1 to whatever, 1 to
25.
25, yeah.
I mean, I honestly, I would say that your home and away doesn't matter so much unless you're doing some sort of projections of this team won on the road, therefore they're better than another team that won a cupcake at home, or a game that was easier in their minds because easier to win at home than it is on the road. Uh, but at about this point in the season, I don't see anybody leapfrogging anybody else or closing the gaps because of that. I
Well,
might be wrong.
I wasn't meaning like that people were. I just was kind of curious if that, if that was a thing, and I hadn't really. But that makes sense.
I think there's another layer to this, if I might, because I
Please.
think our viewers would appreciate this example. So, going into the game against Oregon 2 weeks ago, Penn State was ranked as one of the 3 best teams in college football, and Oregon was ranked as one of the 6 best teams in college football. This game that they played against each other took place in Happy Valley State College, PA, where Penn State plays its home games, which meant that Oregon needed to travel across 2 time zones to play them. Jet lag being what it is, playing games in different time zones being what they are, is a disadvantage for Oregon and an advantage for Penn State. So when the game went into overtime and Oregon ultimately prevails, we weight that a little bit differently because Oregon was not only playing on the road, it was playing in a hostile environment at a time when it doesn't normally play football games and body clocks are being what they are. it's a disadvantage. So when you're able to overcome that disadvantage to win, we give you a little bit more leniency, and we weight it a little bit differently because road victories are really difficult to come by. This week, or I should say last week, Penn State traveled to UCLA, again, across 2 time zones where they are the road team. UCLA was 0-4. Garbage. They had fired the head coach. They had fired the offensive coordinator. They had fired the defensive coordinator. And yet and still, an 0-4 UCLA beat a 3-1 Penn State was then ranked at number 7 in the country. And in doing so, became the first unranked opponent who's also 0-4 to beat a top 10 team since 1985, when UTEP beat number 7 BYU. The Associated Press dropped Penn State out of the top 25 following that loss. It's second in as many weeks, because Penn State went on the road to play a team that it should beat handily, should beat by perhaps even 3 touchdowns, and lost. And we took that very hard because we think that Penn State should be able to cross those 2 time zones and win any game against a hapless UCLA team, and that they didn't hurts them doubly so. So in the advantage that we gave to Oregon is doubly the disadvantage that we give to Penn State for losing that game. Home and road wins matter. Neutral site wins matter. If you win all of your home games, let's assume you have 6, sometimes you have 7, sometimes you're Missouri this year and you have 8. That's an advantage for you. But we're also going to say it's really easy to play at home. It's really hard to play on the road. So we do weight it a little bit differently, but there is no metric that we point to and go, that's worth 2 extra points or that's worth 3 extra points, because this ain't Vegas.
So would you say, I'm sorry, would you say that we give weight to drama, dramatic wins, dramatic losses?
I would say we give weight to not drama. That's not the word I would use. I would use adversity, which is a word that college football coaches like to throw around. But in this instance, if you're walking in wearing green and everybody else is wearing white, and they're shouting epithets at you and your parents and anybody you know, I'm going to call that a disadvantage for you. That's all I'm going to do. I think that's generous. Call that a disadvantage. If you overcome that disadvantage, you must be made of hardier stuff, as opposed to somebody gets to walk in and they're cheering for you and they're wearing the same colors as you and they are saying nice things about your parents, saying nice things about your mom. It's an easier place to play.
Still sounds like we're talking about drama, but I understand. I appreciate it.
Creative director Ron is also a cinephile, and we have big old discussions about drama versus what's on the page and how did you build this.
I know that everybody here is a scientist, that they are a researcher and they're an academic of the game, but it feels like we're throwing critiques back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put that one down and ask Kate to get to her list of questions that she would like to ask us.
So this got me thinking about not this specifically got me thinking about it, but I was thinking about, like, so when a team drops out, like, say everybody gets food poisoning or something like that, it's possible they get catered by the same people.
Possible.
Like,
it's possible.
I found that to be the most realistic thing to take out an entire football team, personally.
They can all get flesh-eating worms.
Yeah, with the greatest of ease. So I was thinking about this, is like, are there different types of, like, if you can't play, for one game, as an example, does your team then forfeit, the rest of the season? I was just kind of thinking about that sort of stuff.
Back up. If you can't play, who's you?
If, like, the team can't play.
If an entire team can't play, yes.
Yeah. Which I realize this is it's nearly impossible for an entire team to. I mean, they withdraw.
COVID.
Yeah.
COVID. You have teams forfeit and or games not just get played. So what generally happens if it's sporting, we don't play the game. We didn't play the game. It doesn't count as a win or a loss for either team. It's just like didn't play.
Okay.
And usually you would like to get to that outcome before you get to a team having to forfeit, because that is the worst possible outcome. Or having a team travel to a game that they then find out they can't play because there's an illness that is rampant upon the team. This happened, I believe, with North Carolina State, and I want to say Rutgers. It wasn't Rutgers. So somebody in the Holiday Bowl that NC State was supposed to play, and they had to forfeit the game. And it might have been UCLA, but it wasn't a forfeit because nobody actually played or nobody showed up to play. It was just a game that nobody played. And Dave Doran, the head coach, famously went bananas because it costs a lot of money to travel there, and it costs a lot of money to get people to those seats in those stands. And there's better ways to go about this. But canceling a game is not new. Matter of fact, I genuinely believe that if Ohio State and Michigan had played in 2020, instead of Michigan needing to pull out due to not having enough players to play because they tested positive COVID, Jim Harbaugh would not have been the head coach the next year, in which case I don't think that Michigan would have won the national championship 2 years later, let alone have an unbeaten streak against Ohio State of 4 consecutive wins. These things do matter, and they do ripple. But that's genuinely what happens. When you don't have enough players to play, you don't have to forfeit. In college, we get to cancel the game. In high school level, might be a little bit more dire circumstance. You might actually have to forfeit that game.
Okay. I was just kind of curious. Like,
That's a good question. And frankly, not one that we needed to answer that much before or after COVID. But COVID being yesterday for me, I got answered.
I watched zero football during COVID, so
I didn't know we were going to play football. I was always prepared for us to not play football, and to find out how many people were hell bent on playing football and then football getting played. Like the Big Ten season didn't start until November, but it did start. And because it did start, Ohio State was able to make the national championship game. Even so. So if anything, you should know that college football is very interested in picking who gets to play for what. In a way that, say, professional sports is not.
Speaking of picking for what, I was going to ask Ron, because he told me he did no homework at all.
Love that.
For the ranking. What?
I thought that we weren't giving people a peek behind the curtain.
For the ranking. I didn't say you didn't do all homework.
Okay, continue.
I was going to ask who you think is at the top, but
Shakespeare would say, Ron, don't protest too much.
Doggone it. So
she was prepared to cover you up, dog, and you was like, nah, let me rip this out.
I didn't expect that particular bit of preface.
Damn, we've been friends for this long. You thought we would just absolutely not throw this man under the bus completely.
Honestly, like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna answer this question, but I've had this thought today.
To be fair, Ron has shoved me off of a lot of ledges in video games, so I am pretty primed to take any opportunity I can to stab him lightly in the back.
I mean, you say that, but like you be Leroy Jenkins and some stuff every time we play. Every time we play, Kate be the one like, I wasn't listening. Let's go. Damn it. Why? No.
I'm terrible at multiplayer games.
No, why are we making a plan? We don't need a plan. It's a video game. Let's go.
Well, I mean,
where's Kate? She's starting the encounter right now.
Sometimes it's just unnecessary. I'm sorry.
Wipe. Are we wiping?
No, like usually you can just go back if you die, and then it's like then we can make a plan. But until then it's just a waste of time.
No. We're trying to hit this dungeon, and there's 3 of us. And Kate's like, I don't know. I'm getting tired, guys. Yeah, but we're trying to work out how to beat this puzzle.
What do you mean you're tired? We signed up for this.
All right, guys. It's been fun. I gotta go.
Who does Ron think is at the top of the rankings?
Okay.
after this
Hunters.
last weekend.
Hunters.
Oh, I don't
Hunters.
know. I feel like
Followed by warlocks, followed
I
by
was about to say
titans.
Warlocks definitely got to come up in the world. So I think I think it might be them for a little bit. I'm gonna put them in as far as like the power rankings. It's them. They've definitely moved up 4 or 5 spots, even though there's only 3.
Did they get back their self res?
I was about to say there's only 3. How did I?
Did I miss them getting back their self res? Because I don't understand.
No,
Titans still got a bubble,
not yet.
and hunters still don't
That's
do
trash.
teamwork at all.
Hunters are so dominant. It's not funny.
Hunters are the best all arounders. I'm sorry.
Hey man, I've been playing as a hunter since 2011, so you know. I was very mad to see my universal remote go, and then
Me
I needed to be a
too.
titan for a while.
Me too.
Tertiary, I'm a warlock, but under duress.
I like how we just can't help ourselves from like talking about video games or other stuff. Apparently,
Yes, you can tell where my heart's at. Absolutely. Thank you for having me on your football podcast.
Yeah.
Damn, can't get no Warhammer commentary though.
I'm not playing Warhammer right now. Though.
Kate just says I'm not going to give it out for free.
I'm playing Silent Hill F right now. Sorry.
No. That's where I draw the line. Shit that scares our
Oh my gosh! Like,
no, we're not doing it. Not doing it. No, I've reached my quota for jump scares.
Y'all, there's at one point in this where they're just like, there's a puzzle. We're not going to give you a map. Also, you can't reference anything about this puzzle in your journal, so I hope you have photographic memory for that one letter you read at that one spot at the beginning, and it's not going to respawn every time you die. It's like, y'all.
So Ron tried to convince me that game developers want me to finish their games, and I'm going, absolutely not. No,
it's totally a antagonistic relationship between the player and the developer. No, neither one wants the other to succeed, really.
Yeah, no, they're trying to give you like the joy of overcoming frustration.
No, they just want to make you cry and ruin your TV. Unless they're cozy game developers, and then they just want your inner child to heal.
Look, Ron put me on what the hell's the name of that game?
What happens in it?
Unpacking.
It's Death something. No, it's not that one.
Death, not Death Stranding.
It's not Death Stranding. It's not
Death Howl.
Death Stranding. It might be Death Howl.
Is that little like isometric game where you are going through the woods looking for like going through the afterlife?
Right. So I was playing the demo of that, and then the game came out. I'm playing it, and I'm going. It's like, this is cool. I might finish this, because me finishing games is a big deal. Like, I didn't finish a real video game until I was in my 20s. Anyway, I get there and they're like, "Oh, here's this diabolical puzzle. No, we're not gonna help you." And I went, "Ain't no way, dog." There was no setup to this. There was no lead to this. There was no you warming me up to this. They just decided, no, we're gonna switch positions right now, and you're gonna like it. No, I'm not. I quit. And that's been what it is. I quit. I just quit. Yeah, me and video games. I play a lot of Turismo. I used to play a lot of Destiny, not so much more because I don't know what Bungie's even doing. Not unlike Kate's questions. Kate, what else you got on the list? How many are there on the list?
Oh, that's the only other question on my list is, have you ever watched Rollerball? But you already answered. Oh no, Ron answered.
A lot of questions, huh?
I didn't answer. I was trying to hustle home from riding the bike.
That's the last question.
Death Howl is the name of the game.
Yes, Death Howl. It's fun. You should play it until the end. Which Rollerball?
The original one.
Gotta say, there's been more than one, because I remember the Ashton Kutcher LL Cool J one, and I didn't have a good time. So this is the one with James Caan. This is the one that cinephiles like to reference, like ad nauseum.
No, I was actually thinking of the one with LL Cool J.
Okay. That's what I thought. I thought.
But you're right. That isn't the original one.
Yeah, your description was like very Ashton Kutcher, LL Cool J.
I don't remember Ashton Kutcher being in Rollerball. I remember Rebecca Romaine Stavos.
Who's the supposedly cute white boy?
I don't remember anyone besides Rebecca Romaine Stamos and LL Cool J. So
Here late. Okay.
I haven't watched it like as an adult, so
Okay. Well,
and Ron still hasn't answered my question about who's at the top.
so right fast on the way out, and I'm going to give this one to Ron if he can hear. Kate would like to know who's at the top. And Kate, when you say who's at the top, what do you mean?
Of the NCAA
Ah, there she is.
rankings.
Okay.
Oh, can you? Could
well,
you
we
not
don't-
hear me?
We don't have NCAA rankings, Kate. I mean, we have them, but we don't have them.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
not.
We have my rankings at
Mhm.
Fox Sports Top 25. We also have the coaches poll. We also have the college football playoff selection committee's poll, which is the one that everybody's going to use when it comes out later this year. Can't wait to hear your thoughts about that. And the one you're referencing is still not called the NCAA poll. It's called the Associated Press poll.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No. It's important only for one reason. The NCAA is a made service. It doesn't actually run anything. It's the
Mhm.
governing body for an organization that doesn't want to be governed. So we reference the NCAA only when we have bad things to say. Like
Okay.
today, as we're recording this show on this day, on this Wednesday, the NCAA decided that it was within its purview and in its infinite wisdom to allow both coaching staffers and student athletes, players, to bet on professional sports. Does anybody else see the problem with that? Small one, slow one.
Mhm. So how long do you think that'll be the case until they stop doing that?
Oh no! You don't get to put that cat back in the bag.
Oh,
That
no. I
cat
was about to
goes
say
out.
that genie is out.
That toothpaste is squeezed, homie. Squeezed. Whether or not somebody uses it to brush their teeth, who could say? Who could say? But all to say, when we talk about the NCAA, it's usually in reference to a baseball bat to a face. What you talk about is the AP Top 25, and that's the ranking. That said, every year, teams get dropped out of the top 10 to unranked every single year out of the preseason poll, and we're always shocked because it's never the team that we think it's going to be. It's always, and the teams that end up in the top 10 at the end, we're like, where did the hell did they come from? But if you're following the story of the season, it makes a lot of sense. It does. So ask Ron your question now that we are very sure that he's listening.
Okay. Who do you think is on top of, everybody?
Who's the number one team in the country?
Yeah,
All right,
exactly. That's a great way of saying that.
I want to say Ohio State, but I feel like that's a trap. Even we let off the show talking about are they the greatest team of all time? Um, uh,
Defense. Defense.
yes.
Okay.
It's hard. It's hard to have a loss when you're averaging 5 points a game. So this is what I'm not going to say Ohio State. I'm going to say because I can't even front because I can't even be like, oh yeah, no, I looked it up. Because I didn't do any research. I'm going to say Miami. I'm going to say Miami's number one.
I'm sure there's a Canes fan listening to the show that's going, Ron can come to Miami whenever he wants. And Ron's going, I will.
Please invite me to South Beach.
No, not South Beach. Not South Beach.
Boca Raton. Okay, fine.
No. That's Florida Atlantic.
Coral Gables. Okay,
There you go.
fine.
You got
Fine.
it. There you go.
I
You
was
got
gonna,
it.
yeah,
There it is. There
I
it
was
is.
gonna
You
get
got
that.
it.
If there, I tell. I might be. I'm glad that you pump me up every now and then. That you build me up. So like, oh yeah, my good friend Ron. He's very smart. I'll tell you. I get an F- in geography. Do not ask me where a thing is.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm going to Florida next week or this coming week.
Which amusement park?
Universal Epic.
What's draw?
I am taking a tour. Also, Halloween Horror Nights.
That's
as
what I
well.
was asking. What's the
That's actually the main. That's actually the main reason I'm going.
What's the theme?
So they're gonna have a Fallout house this year.
Okay. Okay.
Which can be hit or miss, I think. If anyone's a Halloween Horror Nights fan here, they'll know what I'm talking about. Because like sometimes they're IP houses that are after television shows, I think are just kind of generally like weaker. Like they had like The Last of Us at one point, and I mean it was okay, but just I just feel like they don't do as well. They like last year they had The Quiet Place as well, which it's just not like really a good fit for a haunted house, you know, that you have like people walking through and everybody screaming and blah blah blah. But anyway, yeah, so they've got the Fallout house. They're gonna have a Jason house this year. Ron, what is the one with the clown and the white?
It.
No.
Oh,
The terror is it
no,
the
with the terror, not terrified, the terrifier.
Yeah,
the Terrifier.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can't ever get that one's name to stick in my brain.
That's
So those
fine. It's
are
not very good.
yeah, yeah, I agree. So those are kind of the main IP ones, and then they have their like list of original houses. But you know, yeah. And then I'm gonna do a tour of the Epic, the new one. The Epic Universe, I think is what they call it. It has How to Train Your Dragon, land, and kind of what is the other theme? I can't even remember the other themes. Super Mario, that's it. And
Pretty obscure. You may have or may not have heard of it.
I guess there's another Harry Potter theme park as well.
That is going to do it for this episode of Adapting.
No. I have one more. The one that I am most excited about is the Monsters Dark Universe, because they failed at making that movie franchise, and so they turned it into a theme park. So they'll be like the Bride of Frankenstein, and like there's Frankenstein's castle and Dracula and blah 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 blah. All the classic movie monsters. So yeah. There you go.
If you like this episode, please.
We couldn't end on that, RJ.
Leave us a comment below as Ron is ready to receive all of your mail about why Ohio State is not the #1 team in the country and Miami is the #1 team in the country.
I'm joking.
And I'm sure that we will get a travel log from Kate about her haunted house tour, to which I myself will probably be covering my face because I hate being scared of, stuff that ain't real. Say hi to Ron. Say hi to Warhammer 40K in the comments below.
That was a brilliant Warhammer 40K. Was a brilliant.
That's also creative director Ron coming in. Y'all didn't come up with that. Just let you know. The Warhammer Kate, somebody came up with that. The Warhammer 40K, that's Ron. That's Ron. All right. Ron, say bye.
Take care, everybody. Everything that I don't know about football and make up for it in mise en scène. Take care.
This is why we play people off. Kate, bye. Say bye.
Bye.
See, got it in one. Doses.